God, you guys are so depressing. These terrible stories make me want to take a knife to my wrist. Did you take a seminar on how to be morbidly miserable all the time? Alright, guys, I get that your lives must suck pretty bad and all, but, you see, I don't care too much. I don't want any of that nonsense bleeding into my story time. I want something good, you know? Something that won't put me to sleep or make me want to jump in front of a stampede of rabid squirrels. You're losing your audience, and me, I always say, if no one's listening, it ain't worth telling. Hey, you! We can clearly see you're poor and all. I mean, look at that horse he's riding. It is so 2 weeks ago. But you've got to have a better, lighter story.
Do you want puppies and rainbows happy, or the story of an intelligent cock happy?
I'll shoot for the second.
Once upon a time. See, it already sounds happy.
Ooh, this is going to be good, I can tell.
Once upon a time, there lived a poor old widow.
You lost some of the appeal there.
Do you want me to tell a story or not? So, there lived this widow in a little cottage on the edge of the meadow. Since her husband died, she's lived a pretty simple life, and she doesn't really have much going for her. Still, by using what little the man upstairs gave to her, she was able to keep herself and her 2 daughters going. Most of what she had to show for her miserable existence were 3 fat pigs, 3 cows, and a sheep that's named Molly for some reason. So this lady's house was pretty dirty, and she and her daughters ate little but gruel. Anyway, this lady isn't really important. I'm just setting the scene. What is important is that the widow had a fenced-in yard in which she kept the rooster.
Chanticleer! Dun dun dun!
His crow went unrivaled by any cock, and his voice was as sweet as the sound of a church organ. He was also far better than any clock at telling the time. In short, he'd make an amazing alarm clock. The cock's comb was better than fine coral, and tall and strong like a castle wall. His beak gleamed black and bright as night, his legs were a fine blue color, nails as white as lilies, and his feathers shone the bright color of burnished gold. Now, Chanticleer was the biggest ladies' man of that yard, or would it be hens man? He had 7 hens all ready and waiting to do his pleasure. These chicks were his sisters and his lovers, and they looked very much like him. This isn't as weird as you think. They are animals after all. The loveliest hen of them all was known as Lady Pertalote. She was courteous, discreet, and debonair. So charming was she that she captured Chanticleer's heart when she was but 7 days old. Ah, that sweet infant love. Chanticleer was a total sucker when it came to his fair hen. She had him wrapped firmly around her finger, feather, and what a joy it was to hear them sing in sweet harmony, "My love is far from land." Well, apparently in those olden times, all animals could talk and sing. Would I make this up? Must have been something in the water. One bright morning at dawn, Chanticleer and his ladies were all sleeping soundly on their perch when the rooster began to moan and groan in his slumber. He tossed and he turned, and I have no idea how he managed to stay seated during all of this. Pertalote, who had been resting beside her husband, heard the commotion and said,
"Oh my God, what is wrong with you? Do you know what time it is? You dunce! You spoke me from my beauty rest. What is wrong with you?
Please forgive me, my dear. I had this terrible nightmare that nearly caused me to scream out in fright.
Oh, this little Chanticleer needed a little night light to keep you from the bad monsters.
I dreamt that some foul beast ventured into our yard and tried to seize me. And he liked to creep around in the background, unbeknownst to us. And that's his intention.
Oh, that's ridiculous, though. What do you think? It's some kind of revolution or something? We hens need somebody who's brave, handsome, and not afraid of little dream things. What is wrong with you? Be a man. Must we sing that song from Moulin to make a man out of you? Come on. Goodness, you having a premonition like that is as probable as, let's see, Kristen Stewart playing this impossibly boring and annoying character in cheap vampire thing. It's just not possible. Now, clearly, your dream was just caused by gas. So, I, being your wife, since there's no pharmacy around here, I shall prescribe medicine for you. Now, Mr. Chanticleer, what seems to be the problem? Oh, don't tell me. It doesn't matter anyway. Now, it says here that for the gas, which you seem to have a lot of, for the gas, I shall provide you with some vino. There you go. And That should take care of it. Now, for your lack of creativity, we shall provide you with a deluxe set of Doctor Who. Wrong Doctors. Anyway. Anything else? Let's see here. Oh, since you are the biggest coward I have ever had the pleasure of meeting, we shall prescribe you with some Old Spice. Old Spice? When did this expire? That doesn't matter. And 2 doses of manliness. Come on, drink them up. Now, see how the soaps have taken effect, and give me another call in the morning. Hello, honey. Did that help?
No, not at all. I don't believe anything you're saying about his dream. There have been some great people that have had dreams. Martin Luther King had a dream, and look where that got him. Never mind. Let's move on to happier things. But God has blessed me with you, my darling Pertalote. Why, when I look at you, all my fears simply disappear. And at night, when I feel your soft, feathery side beside me, I wish I could mount you, but it is a shame because our perch is too narrow. But your beauty, it makes it possible for no nightmare to cause fear in me. Shut up.
And on that note, Chanticleer flew from his spot with the 7 wives following after him. They ate corn, and he rustled his feathers for Pertalote 20 times, and mounted her just as many times, all before noon. He spent the day walking around like a petty, pompous fool on the tips of his toes because he was too full of himself to place his feet properly upon the floor.
What kind of logic is that?
I don't know. I'm not a rooster, am I? Chanticleer was no longer afraid of his dream. In the month of March, he was as happy as a clam with his wives at his side, and he crowed happily when his superior rooster physiology alerted him to the current time. His happiness suddenly vanished, however, as if a grumpy cloud had suddenly shifted overhead and began spitting on him. Guess who joined the party? Was it A, the widow, B, a man with a fetish for hens, or C, the mysterious fox from Chanticleer's dream? Text us with your answers now.
What's a text?
That's right, it was the fox. He crept around a bed of cabbages, utilizing his arsenal of fox moves that could have been straight out of a Charlie's Angels episode. That fox is such a foxy lady.
You realize I'm a guy, right?
And the foxy fox hid in the cabbages and watched Chanticleer, waiting for the right moment to pounce and wrap his teeth around Chanticleer's throat, as most murderous creepers tend to do.
Ooh, this is starting to sound like an episode of Criminal Minds.
Now let it be said that Chanticleer is an absolute idiot for listening to Pertalote. He had one of those freaky premonition dreams. They're always right. Geez, has he ever seen a Harry Potter movie? That kid always has weird dreams about that guy with no nose, and they always end up actually happening. And basically someone always dies. So, if Chanticleer dies, it's like totally Pertalote's fault. Anyway, Pertalote the idiot was off sunbathing any longer and she'll be in my KFC bucket. Chanticleer was off singing, and he was merrier than a hooker with 4 corners. He suddenly and dramatically spotted a butterfly, and a fiendish fox was hiding nearby in the, cabbage patch.
Is this the wrong cabbage patch? I'm sorry. I'll just, wait here. Keep waiting. Not gonna move. Go on with the story.
Startled, Chanticleer choked out and instantly began to flee.
Wait! I didn't mean to scare you! I just wanted to hear you sing! Really? Yes, I love your voice. I wouldn't lie to you. Your voice reminds me of a combination of Fergie and Jesus. Really? Yes. Now, would you please sing for me? Sing like your father once did! Oh, I would be my honor!
Chanticleer was so happy about this wonderful compliment that he closed his eyes, stood on his tiptoes, stretched his neck, and began to crow as loud as his lungs would allow. Immediately, the fox known as Sir Russell jumped out and grabbed Chanticleer by the throat, throwing the latter on his back and running off. There is nothing for this terrible misfortune. Oh, silly Chanticleer, why did you ever set foot on the ground in harm's way? And why did your nagging legs not heed the warning in your dreams? Oh, woe is the poor rooster. This all happened on a Friday, mind you, the day of the goddess Venus. How could this goddess of sex and pleasure allow this to happen to poor, loyal Chanticleer, who indulged in the act for pleasure rather than to multiply? Oh, the world is so cruel.
This isn't very happy.
I am not done. The henwives gave a great cry at the sight, and never has such a commotion been heard. Perlo screamed the loudest, but we all know this is your fault, Perlo. You can't lie to us. The old widow and her daughters were disturbed by the racket. They ran out to see what the fuss was about, and were shocked to see the fox running off with the rooster. The widow hitched up her skirt and said, quite seriously,
Girls, go get my bazooka.
And they chased after the fox, the widow waving her gun threateningly in the air. Grabbing sticks and shovels, some of the neighbors heard the commotion and joined the chase. They were all screaming unnecessarily loud as if that wouldn't do anything, but really, it just made them look more ridiculous than they already did. Ah, but alas, fate has a way of turning the tides and allowing some goodness to sprinkle through. Chanticleer saw past the fear and suddenly smartened up.
Mr. Fox, sir, if I were you, I would turn around and say to those people, ha, I got your rooster. Now that I'm safe here in this forest, I'm going to fry him up and eat him. What a brilliant idea, sir. Oh, my dear rooster, do come down. I must have frightened you when I lightly tossed you upon my back. But fear not. I only want to shoot a catchy music video on my dad's boat with you and your wonderful voice.
As if I'm not falling for that again.
Not even if I compared your voice to that of a golden-voiced hobo?
Oh my goodness, really? Wait, no. I won, you lost. Now go away.
The moral of the story is,
To never ever listen to a talking hen, especially if she's your wife.
no. The moral here is if you're a fox and you've got a rooster in your mouth, keep your fat gob shut. More importantly, though, never ever trust someone that compliments you.
Especially if it is a fox that uses a stepbrother's quote to do so. What a lovely tale, Sir Priest. You would have had all the hens in the barnyard if you were a rooster yourself, I'm sure.
A pimp among fowl, yes.
What a guy.